Jenny Stein with that report. The new year is often a time to review the 12 months that have passed, to reassess goals and scribble down resolutions for the year ahead. Politically, it's no different. In recent weeks, the Prime Minister's hit the reset button on his government, revising contentious policies like the Medicare co-payment, for example, and refreshing his ministry with a reshuffle. History will record 2014 as the year Tony Abbott delivered on key promises to abolish the carbon and mining taxes and stop the boats. But it'll also be remembered for more. Editor John Lang from our Parliament House Bureau has searched the archives for this year in review.
It is a defining point in terms of where we go with industry policy in Australia.
The age of entitlement is over. The age of personal responsibility has begun.
This has been an extremely difficult decision to make. In fact, it is one of the saddest days in Toyota's history.
This government is a job-killing government.
We should be looking out for each other, not turning against one another.
Shots were heard and reported to be fired by PNG police.
I guess I'm disappointed and exhausted.
Alan Joyce should be ashamed of himself.
We'll be a far leaner Qantas group.
Minority government can work effectively for South Australia.
They shouldn't be popping the champagne corks just yet.
Tonight, Tasmanians have voted for change.
There have been no allegations made of wrongdoing.
What we want to do is to maintain the red light for bigotry. We want to remove the amber light for free speech.
Awarding knighthoods for cutting the wages of cleaners?
To the Honourable the Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, start telling the truth. Start telling the truth for a change.
The Minister will resume his seat. There'll be silence.
You do need to listen, it's your job.
The member for Isaacs will leave under 94A.
Everyone in Australia knows bias when they see it.
Bizarre. It is ludicrous. It is over the top.
Welfare must be a safety net, not a cargo net.
This is one of the largest defence purchases that Australia has ever made.
If Prime Minister Abbott can't even stick by his signature policy for 24 hours, how can Australians trust him on anything?
The Coalition's primary vote slumped to just 38%.
The budget reply at Sydney University came with sound and fury.
$80 billion? Are you kidding me?
And I work on an adult sex line to make ends meet.
Those that opinions say aye, those against say no. I think the ayes have it.
We're never going to vote for that. A crocodile wouldn't swallow his nonsense.
Can you tell us what you discussed?
Welcome to the House of Fun.
Parliament United Senators will stand as the last sentry at the gate, protecting the rights of all Australians.
The Clean Energy Legislation, Carbon Tax Repeal Bill and 7 related bills have passed.
One in the morning, one in the afternoon.
The web address is part of the metadata.
The poorest people either don't have cars or actually don't drive very far in many cases.
I don't mind standing up against the Chinese bastards and stopping them from doing it. Of course, I don't have to. Goodbye. Goodbye. We'll see you later.
The results are that the boats are stopping.
It's not a state, it's a death cult.
The Senate has just repealed the mining tax. The mining tax is now gone.
It's a political hot potato for the government.
Your name is Julia Eileen Gillard?
Yes, it is.
The boyfriend, his self-confessed bagman, and their union. The government is raising the public alert level to high.
Keeping our people safe is above politics.
The bill
restores temporary protection visas.
I think it's a game changer for our country.
It's now time to ban the burqa.
Australian fighter jets, loaded up for their first combat mission, took to the skies above Iraq.
Look, I'm going to shirt front Mr Putin.
Tonight, the current class of Labor MPs made a pilgrimage from the new to the old house in the sight of that dismissal speech.
This has been a very fruitful negotiation.
This is the last straw between Abbott and I, and I've had an absolute gutful.
Threats do not work with the government.
We have a special responsibility to lead the global effort against climate change.
Maybe this is Prime Minister Abbott's way of shirt-fronting you.
Senator Lambie, have you let the Parliament know to vote?
I'm proud to say I'm going to vote with like-minded senators, the coalition of common sense.
What she's seeking in a man is someone that's got a big package and a lot of money. Well, that's not a good criteria to be a senator.
They now want to cut our ABC.
What we're doing with the ABC is at odds with what I said.
You wonder why I wouldn't trust them to build a canoe?
Victoria's new Premier, Daniel Andrews.
I'd be the first to admit that last week was a bit of a ragged week for the government. I'd be the first to admit that.
I call on the crossbench to pass our reforms.
The matter is resolved in the negative.
Goodbye. Goodbye, the high education.
What I announced today is a new package of measures.
There's no massaging of numbers here. None at all.
We do need to know why the perpetrator of this horrible outrage got permanent residency.